Home with God or Life After Death, chapter 36, I guess, 36. Your ancestors walk with you. Your heirs stand beside you, watching your decisions on their behalf. So our ancestors walk with the eyes, okay? At least one piece of them, and they are not quite them, okay? They are not the same as they were here. Our forefathers not the same. Our mother, father, our parents, grandparents are not the same the other side. So your head stand beside you, watching your decisions on their behalf. Is she heads? Who's their heads? I think it's an alien. They talk about alien here. Thank you, dear God, for that wonderful, wonderful prayer. I hope that people everywhere, all over the world, will use it if they feel it would serve the moment and bring peace and comfort, hope and understanding to the dying. But wait, please, there is still something that I myself need to understand. Did I hear you correctly? What did you mean when you said that we will see our loved ones who follow us in death, even in the present moment? Do you remember when early in this conversation you talked about Andrew Parker's wife, Pip, and you asked me a question about her? Yes, I asked you if she wanted to get cancer at the early stage in her life. I asked if she really chose as a matter of free will to live that soon, to die so young. I said that something like this would be really hard to accept by her husband, her children, and the members of her family. Nowadays, nobody cares if the family go, the mother go, the father go. They are not care. They are caring about the legacy left behind for them. They would ask with deep sorrow, I am sure, why would people want to leave us like that? Well, she's stupid, going for treat, wrong treatment, hoping that they will help her. They make it worse and kill you, poison you, fools. And do you remember what I said? Yes, you said, I have an answer that may shock you. I have saved two remembrances for the end of our conversation. These are the most joyous, the most wondrous remembrances of all. The first of these is the 70 remembrance, and that you will be greeted by all of your loved ones, those who have died before you and those who will die after you. Not everybody, some are miserable the other side. Those are copies, and sometimes I not even recognize the other side. If not, they will not come to us so miserable, angry, etc., and complain that there's no love, no respect on the other side. These souls will comfort you as you release your attachment to the physical world, gently guide you into the spiritual realm. You need never be alone, ever. Nor are you ever lonely now. Really, I feel myself alone all the time. And especially so after death. There's no such thing as there will be somebody. Maybe somebody to uh, lead you astray or to abuse you and torment you. I'm so grateful to know this aloneness and this journey is my greatest fear. You are never alone and you cannot be alone by the very nature of who you are. For you are not an individual but an individuation of the all. You are a part of all of us who live, and all of us who live have an investment in the experience of you. You see, because we are all made together, a piece of here, a piece of you, a piece of me, and you, a piece of you and me, and so on and so forth. Your ancestors walk with you. Your head stand beside you, watching your decisions on their behalf, which are the aliens. We are all with you always, and you with us. It takes but Your belief to know that we are there. Yes, but this I don't understand. This is last you remembering, see, I cannot comprehend. Yeah, you cannot consent. Do you mean that when I close my eyes and death and open them again in the afterlife, everyone I have ever loved, including Jews I have just left behind, will be there? Not always. That's not true. If you want, see, if you want them to, then they will be there. Oh, what answer, huh? So, if you believe they will be, if you believe and if you want, there's still if, but not a certainty that they will be there. But if, if there are circumstances for you to be candidate and qualify for this privilege, if you so much as you hope that they will be, you'll be aware of their presence beside you, aware, but you're not gonna see them. Aware only, aware. It's a feeling, but you're not sure. And they will not talk to you, hug you. That's all a big lie. But I'm here to debunk. But look, as I've already told you, I've had it said many times that the souls of those who have preceded me in death will be waiting for me when I cross over. You said that yourself earlier in this conversation, but I've never heard it said that the people who are alive with me now, who are alive at the moment of my death, will be there to greet me. How can this be? Yeah, it's possible. I've seen, as I said before. Such the wonder of the ultimate reality, although you are, that though it may be experienced in a long while for those who remain living in physicality within the illusion of time, it will be in your own moment of now that you will be reunited. So whenever someone dies, who I know of, I will be there to see them because every time they come to me, it's impossible not to be there to see them because every time someone dies, even a person who I never seen, like my daughter's youngest daughter, English mother-in-law, also came to me to talk about my daughter. But I forgot what she talked to me about her. She came to me. She died when she died about 3 years ago, and then she came to me also. And I have never seen that woman, never. And I don't even know her photographs. And I saw a blondie woman there with grayish blondie hair, blue-eyed, German, British woman, around in her 60s, like 69-year-old, there beside me and talked to me near her grave. And I was there on the graveyard in a place called Sussex, Sussex, something like that, sex, Sussex in England. And I was there near her graveyard talking to her. Amazing. That was in 19 or 2018, I guess, 2018 to 2019. To, yeah, around the same time, yeah, 2019, exactly the time that my sister was passed away. Uh, she even irritated me to a point that why does she talk about a person who's so rebellious, who was so ungrateful like my daughter? I think may she even made black magic for her poor mother-in-law to die. Who knows? Back then she wasn't had she was 30. Yeah, she was 30-year old. My daughter. So your greeting of each other at the end of your physical lives is sequentious. Sequentious. But when a thing is sequential and simultaneous, which do I experience? You never explained this to me before. Do I experience that one thing is happening after another, or do I experience everything happening instantly? Whichever you choose. You may look at an individual image in your mural. You may step back and look at the entire mural at once. It's all a matter of perspective. And you may choose any perspective that serves you. You may take any perspective that pleases you. The implications of this are enormous. It's almost as if when my life is over, everyone's life is over. When I die, everyone dies. That doesn't seem fair. It's not that because we are there, a piece of us, a copy of life is there. We are omnipresent. We are multidimensional. So when you understand that you're multidimensional, you're not going to think that everybody also passed away. No. Yeah, in our sense, yeah, because we, even as we live, we as a multi-dimensional being, we are omnipresent, on that we don't feel and neither do we know it. Okay? There is nothing unfair about it. Injustice and unfairness are not possible in the you are or ultimate reality. It may be many years before your presently living loved ones die. Yet those years will be compressed into less than an instant in the place of no time. If you wish to step back from the mural and see the whole picture, you will experience them join you in the afterlife in no time at all. Oh, so I once dead. When I meet these people, I'm dead. So what happens here? I'm going to my future when I die and I meet them. Oh, great, great. That's great. So I'm seeing the future, premonition, what will really happen when I die. Then I'll meet all these people who came to me in death in no time at all. That's why I said before that if you believe that your loved ones, all of your loved ones, will be with you in the afterlife, just as you cross over, if you so much as you hope that they will be, you'll be aware of their presence beside you. Belief creates perspective, and hope distances you from your worst imagining, allowing you to see a larger picture. But then why I saw my mother 2008, she came to me and said, join me, come and stay with me. And I said, oh, sorry, mom, my youngest is still young. That time she was about 8 years old or 11. I told her, about not now, mom, she's still young. I'm sorry, I cannot join you now. But she was there outside my window. And my sister too was outside my window in 2019. And I have seen many other people, um, many people who lived here in the land where this flat were built. People who I never saw before living in the same land where this flat block of flat were built. Uh, couple, Chinese couple, and they were making trouble inside the house. And finally, they moved on in 2005, 2005 around this age. And they wanted me to guide them to another life when I don't understand about their culture. And they went, how I cross that bridge? We don't know. Oh, come on. It's your culture and you don't know how to cross that bridge. Because you believe that you crossed the culture. I didn't know anything about them. Because I didn't marry a Chinese man, so I don't know about their culture. But I was there. And then that was that bridge. Red color. Red colored Oriental bridge. And they tried to trick me into following them when they finally left the apartment where I live. You know what I did? I burned sage because they were making so much problem. I burn sage, then I say a mantra and ask them, loved ones, please leave this house. Go in peace, go in a peace. Go in peace for your own God's self. Be free with the cosmos. Go and meet your only, be one with your own God's self. Be free on the cosmos. Go to your own free place of expression. Go in peace. Go in peace. Go in peace. So I ask everybody who wants here, wants a lot of them, young and old spirits here in this flat. And then one night when I was alone at home, I did that. I cleansed all the place in the house. What happened? Mm. They didn't want to go alone. They called me because they knew I throw them away, right, from the place, from the flat. They called me. Went to this garden. This garden had a bridge. Over there, they told me, we don't know how to cross. Would you help us? We want you to help us. Once not middle age, elderly, in their 70s, couple. I forgot how they were dressing, but it was a kind of, the men ones were like black, old suit from the 30s, and the woman, I don't remember, red or whatever, I don't know. So she said like that, help us. We want you to cross the seas on the other side. It was like, well, I don't understand. I don't understand about your culture. I don't know how you do it. But there's a guy there on the pavilion, in the pagoda, in the pavilion. I'm gonna ask him if he know anything in this matter that could help you too. Okay? I said nicely. I was very respectful to them. Very respectful and helpful as well. So I went to the pavilion, feeling tired. Almost 9 o'clock, and I feel so tired. I lose so much blood from my back just now, and I changed the wound. I changed the dress. So I told them I'm gonna ask that guy. The guy was tall, have a long hair from the 70s, and I wear Oriental attire. And he was like on his around 35-year-old of age. And then he was pretending to read a book. Maybe he wants to read the Book of the Dead, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, who knows? And then I approached him and I said, hello, there is an old couple who stayed on my flat and now they want to move and then they ask me to go with them. The thing is, I don't understand about their culture and your culture. How to go about in a movie there, I don't know. So could you kindly help them to guide them to the other side, please? So he stood up. He was taller than I, skin and tall, about 1 meter 85. And then he beckoned me with a hand, with a finger, the ring finger, which I promptly followed. Like I was being bedazzled. Okay, he kind of hypnotized me, and if the ring finger he called me to follow him. So there's about 500 meters. There's a bridge, and there's a small lake there, but the water there, I don't like that water. I don't like that place. So I went there. The water was murky and kind of blackish. He once there leaned against the bridge and then he beckoned me again with a finger, very rude way. If I were on my body, I will give him the middle finger and I will get back and ask him to go to hell. You understand? Because he was very respectful this entire. So he called me like this, and then as I come near him, he kissed my astral body. He tried to kiss me, and I pushed him. He tried to kiss me on my mouth and my lips. And then as he bring my body close to him, I could feel the stench of his mouth. It was very, very foul, smelly, terrible sewage and death. It was terrible smell. And then I pushed his astral body. And as I pushed his astral body, he pushed me into the lake. Now I'm going on a spiral head first into a tunnel down to that bridge, to that water, murky water. And I knew that uh, there's a kind of how to say how they call that water, spiral water that is in there on the water. There was a kind of water there. I don't know the kind of water that goes in swirl in circle. I forgot the name. Okay, there's a that one is a portal. All right, that's portal. I forgot the name in English. And then I went sucked it to the through that portal, that swirling water, and then I'm now going head first to hell. You understand? This hell, totally black, or it's a black hole, I don't know. And then I'm going, then halfway I return because I say I don't want to go. And then you don't have power over me. And then I say, I am in I am in control. I am the own authority in my life. I am divine, protected by the light of my divine being, a close of my own embodied light to all except my own God's self. As I say that, my body give a U-turn, and then I return from the water and I shift back to my body, go inside my body again. So that the old couple was a Satan, evil being. Even when they die, they still give trouble to people. So they tried to trick me, and then they wanted me to go to hell. Maybe they want me to go there, but my fear didn't allow to. And then I kind of returned to my body. And maybe I did some uh, true things, who knows. Because first of all I did was throw them out of the house. Whether they liked it or not, they don't live here. They was pulling, they was banging chair at night, making noises, make everybody, many people here quarrel, fighting a sick. They was coming out of mirrors. They was that were banging on the wall, boom, 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 boom at night. And I just couldn't bear it anymore. Cats were falling sick or dying or disappear in a mysterious way. Okay, so it couldn't go on. There came a time when I say enough. That's enough. I'm gonna burn sage now and then. Then I start to say the mantra, and that's all the time when they move on. All of them go, but two of them stay. A young couple, a boy, a Chinese boy and Chinese girl. I don't know if they're still around. Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. But I don't see much things good in NC. There's not much activities like there were before. Because at least so when my daughters and sons were here, now they gone, they married, they move on, the activity stopped. So distances you from your worst imagining, allowing to see a larger picture. Oh my gosh, this is theologically so new, so startling. I have never heard this anywhere. I mean, it's just not something I ever imagined. That's a perfect description of the kingdom of God. I tell you now, you will be together with all the souls with whom you have ever traveled. Those you are traveling with now, and those souls you will travel with in the future. My future companions will be there. If you want them there, yes, they will. If there's still a if, nothing will happen that you do not choose. Remember, heaven is getting what you want. Oh, sorry, heaven is getting what you want. Hell is getting what you don't want. There has been a lot of theology created around both of those words, but in the end, that's it. In a hell, does not even exist unless you create it yourself, which means that you are still getting what you want. And if you do create your own hell, it disappears the moment you don't want it anymore. Exactly. It's like a dream or a nightmare. It's not even a dream, it's a nightmare. Heaven is a dream. Hell is a nightmare. When you are having a nightmare, you have hell. When you have your heaven, you are dreaming. Okay? That's what will happen. So, in truth, heaven is all there is. Indeed, this could be the whole of your theology. Heaven is all there is. Use this event of today to create the promise of tomorrow. So, chapter 37. Use the events of today to create the promise of tomorrow. I'm so enthralled with this idea, but and maybe I'm thinking about this way too much. But if I am to also be joined in the heaven by those souls with whom, but if I am to also be joined in this heaven by those souls with whom I will go through future lives, that would mean that I'm going through all of my lives, including this one, with souls that I have known ahead of time. Means what he means that we right now in the present moment are dealing with people that will share a life with us in the future, right? Yes, that's what it would mean. Have you never met a person and just knew that you've been known them before? Yes, many times. Oh my God, what are you telling me? This is just the beginning of the wonder and the glory, my beautiful child. Just the beginning, for Shakespeare had it right when he said, "There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamed of in your philosophy." Have I not told you that in my kingdom there are many nations? Have I not said, "Ye are gods"? I tell you, you will all gather together, your souls of antiquity. You will all meet and love again. You will all join once more, and you will always in the sacred circle of co-creation. And the soul partners of all your lifetimes will surround you and shower you with your love as you respond to the whole inquiry. Now, the inquiry will be, do you wish now to go on? Are you complete with the present experience of divinity? What an incredible revelation! Oh, my wonder, my child, my breathtaking creation. I have told you almost nothing yet. I have things to show you that will make even this commonplace. And the first thing I will have to show you when you live this life is your glorious self. As you were originally created, will you be seen in the mirror of your own love? For you will love yourself again, even as you did when you were allowed to in heaven. And that you will be whole again and young again, and you will be moved into the spiritual realm with all the zest and spirit of your most exciting time. You will experience yourself as in the days of your earthly youth. I saw it. I saw my sister. And it will be as if no time has passed at all. It's exactly what has happened. Fun and odd that one of my sisters who died in 2019, I have a very bad experience with her. She liked to deal with, read all this black magic nonsense before she died. And she was a Pisces lady. And I loved her. I helped her the most I could while she was alive. She was 7 years older than I, but she gave me hell after she died. She even cursed me for nothing when all I did to her was helping. Now my other sister, who is 16 years older, she died during after she went to hospital after taking injection. After taking the vaccination, she died, and she was 16 years older than I. She died on her 70s, and she was she was not much different from the others. She also dealt with what I called, this African religion, not say voodoo, but close to that. Something called Quibanda or Candomblé in Brazil. She dealt with it. She was like something like priestess, okay, priestess. And when she died, she was very angry. I saw her very angry, and her son, who she passed her priesthood to, was also there. And at first, when she died in 2021, she was angry and fight with her husband who had passed on a long time ago. They were separated when he died. They were already separated. Maybe he teased her and he came to beat her up, and she was just defending himself. And now that man who was my ex-brother-in-law was now a frog, partly frog. He was the alien all gray color, and his feet was like that of a frog. Okay, he had what we call the thing like a frog hinge, exactly like that, and he could even jump like a American bullfrog. I saw it was amazing the other side. I know many people don't believe all this nonsense. I mean, that's nonsense, but I have seen it. It's not just a figment of my imagination, because I want to see her again in 2022. She came again, and the last I saw her was 2022. Yeah, at the end October. And they were all together with me. All my dead loved one was with me. All together, My mother, my sisters, except my brother and my father. My brothers and father were not there. But my sisters, two sisters and my mother were there. And they were together with me and this other sister who's still alive. One other sister who is 6 years older than I. So, the second time I saw her, she was happy, and she was now like in the 60s when she was young, yet 17-year-old girl. I saw her in the 60s on the other side. She was wearing a mini skirt. You know that clog will make noises with flip flop with clogs that we wore in the 60s. Not me, because I was a child. At that time I was only 4 year old. She was already a girl of 17-year old. No, I was 2 years old when she was 17. I was 2 years old, a baby. I could even be her daughter. But that was the 60s, okay, the end of 60s. So what happened was I saw her at that time. She was very beautiful, long blonde hair, very plumpy, big boobs, and very beautiful. Very beautiful legs, thick legs, very beautiful. She was like hourglass, very beautiful, and very useful, and she was so happy. But I know that they live their dreams. That is all fantasia. They go back on the past. I seen my mother going back to where my father was born. She came to me and say she was a very young girl, and she was not courting my father. And she said, "I go back to this place. I'm going back to Garanhuns, where my father lived before, where they dated before they got married." And she was a young girl, and she come to me so happy, and I was so happy for her. I said, "Mom, where you are going? So beautiful." And she was like, "I'm gonna meet your father. I'm going to this place where she was." I said, "Oh." Great. I'm so happy for her. But after that, she no more came to me again. So sad. And then that's how I saw them, and it's true what they're saying here. It really happened, but all a figment of your imagination. Because over there you create with your brain. But after when they laser your brain, there's nothing anymore. They erase your memories and name the person who you call John or Mary is gone. Fortunately, that's what the part they are not telling here, and that's what it happened. So, when you leave those your glorious originally created, you will be, oh my wonder, my child, my breathtaking creation. I have told you almost nothing yet. I have things to show you that will make this even commonplace. And the first thing I will have to show you when you live this life is your glorious self. As you were originally created, you really will be seen in the mirror of your own love. For you will love yourself again, even as you did when you were allowed to in heaven. And you will be whole again and young again. And will move into the spiritual realm with all the zest and spirit of your most exciting time. With all the zest and the spirit of your most exciting time, you'll experience yourself as in the days of your earthly youth, correct? And it will be as if no time has passed at all. Which is like exactly what has happened because everything is connected together, but it's not gonna last forever. It's all a pigmentation, a figment of your imagination. Okay. I must ask you a final question, something we have not touched upon at all throughout this entire dialogue. What about the death of children? Do they experience the same things we have been talking about here? They do, in a very gentle way. Death is very kind to children because children rarely move into death holding all sorts of preconceived negative notions about what happens afterward. Or they don't care baggage. They are pure. They have only just come from the spiritual realm. They are not that far removed from the core of their being. They just emerged from their senshi. And so small children move through the first stage of death very quickly and return almost immediately into emergency if their senshi. Oh, I see. So the children die and they merge with the cosmos. So there's no karma for them to be paid. They merge with the cosmos. And the animals, some stay here for a while, but eventually they too will merge. But when they emerge from that and they experience the moment of the whole inquiry, do they continue on their journey as tiny little children or whatever age child they were when they left their body? Means that when they emerge from the cosmos, will they still retain their same age, their childhood, or they will come as an adult? So the answer is they are given a moment of the biggest free choice they will ever make. The same choice that all souls face before entering the spiritual realm. They may go on with their lives, retain the identity with which they left their last experience of physical life, or they may create a new identity, a new avatar. All souls have this choice. So they are given a moment of the biggest free choice they will ever make. The same choices that all souls face before entering the spiritual realm. They may go on with their lives, retain the identity with which they left their last experience of physical life. You may have your avatar, your looks, or you create another one, someone scary, sometimes like a demon or whatever, animals, doesn't matter, or is a bright light, or they may create a new identity. All souls have this choice. It should be said that children grow up in the afterlife. That is, they become fully aware and fully conscious of all that's going on and of ultimate reality. They know why they came to the earth and they know why they left as early as they did. If they feel complete with all of that, they will move on in whatever form they choose. If they do not feel complete, they will have the same opportunity to come back to life as any other soul. The process is the same for all souls, no matter what the age of their body when they leave the physical world, how old you die, doesn't matter. But now I should like to say something about the agenda of the children who die at a very young age. That's going to be very, very, um, very interesting indeed. And I wish could have died when I was young, but personally I didn't. I wish that operation would have killed me, but personally I didn't. And then I come to this old age now of 57. But I wish so much to have died when I was young. Fortunately, I came to near death. I mean, near death, not death. Okay, you all have it wrongly. Near death, not dying, but almost. But still, you are attached with the body here in your full consciousness here. The complete rapture did not occur when you have near death experience or NDE. Okay, that's not the same thing. It's still alive. So I went into coma and I wish I had died. But unfortunately, they had the other plans for me. I wanted to stay, but they want me to return. And also, when I returned here, there were other beings that came together. Okay, this being didn't allow me to come back. They wanted me to stay there. It's a dark being, and as I was growing up, it was always there near me, trying to trying to um, distract me from the right path and try to make me go astray. And so some wanted me to come to stay there, and others wanted me to return. Now, remember that light and darkness here are almost the same thing, okay? Light and darkness here are almost all the same thing. They both work together, but has different agenda, different script. It's just like two actors. They they are both actors, but they have different script and they play a different role. Okay, but they are from the same industry and they aspire the same agenda to become famous, to get what they want in life, etc. Okay. Yes, please. I would very much like to know about this. Those souls who enter the body and leave the body within a very short period. Children who died in childbirth, for instance, or at a very tender age, inevitably do so in service to the agenda of another at a very high level. That means they use children, they put into a family or a woman to punish that person and say that they want to give an show a lesson to that person to learn a lesson. Okay, So all the children who died in a family, is the agenda is the family, is not the kids, for the family to absorb that experience. Not learning, but experience, which are different things. All souls come to physicality to serve the individual agenda, but that agenda may very well have little to do specifically with themselves and everything to do with the agenda of others. The soul who returns as an avatar or master, for instance, does so for the joy of experience itself as that, and knows that the best way to do this is to serve the agenda for others almost exclusively. The agenda of others in this case may be to remember who they really are and at some level to experience that the avatar or master serves their agenda in the living of his or her life. Similarly, many souls come to us to experience the joy of serving the agenda of others in another way. In some cases, they are required to leave early in order to do that. This is never, however, tragedy for the soul. They have agreed to leave early. Yeah, but we don't remember. That's the problem. We leave early, but don't remember all these nonsense contracts, all these nonsense agreements make people suffer, only suffering, nothing but suffering. Make people join together people who we have nothing in common at all. And there's some retarded out there who say that we should sit because it's our fault. There are people who go astray because of bad influences of, um, you know, dark agendas or whatever. Things that they don't see because they're too stupid. They only see religion. They don't see other things that the roam around them. And then this person, they blame only the people who goes astray. He don't blame who's behind all this. Make people indulging in drugs when young, killing one another, or become promiscuous. You know, um, teenage pregnancy, women who abandon their children, children who's abandoned. All that is already a very sick game that this is being do. Okay, they are okay with it because they thrive on unhappiness and misery, and for them that's normal because they say, oh, this is just a game. It's just a game, and that too will pass. Yeah, but doesn't pass very quickly. There are people who are on the same BS game for years, for decades, not years, decades. You mean we have agreements with other souls? We have contracts. Ah, that's all BS. I don't buy that. Yes, remember that I told you all the souls you have ever loved will be waiting for you at the time of your death. This includes the souls who have preceded you in death, who have died before us, as well as those who have followed you. You will open your eyes when you cross over to find everyone there, just as they will find you there when they cross over. You will all be there for each other in the only moment there is. No wonder they call me there to greet my dead relatives or other people, so that will make them think that death is okay, that they should comply to whatever comes next to them. We'll meet in the same when where. Exactly. And you will joyously celebrate all that you have co-created in order that you might, each of you, know yourself and who you really are. And experience that you will then enter into contract, an agreement with each other on what you will each do in your next sequence, spontaneous expression. As always, you will choose to experience this new expression as if it were happening sequentially, bit by bit. And as always, it will be occurring simultaneously. So it's occurring all at the same time, but it looks as if it is divided time by time. There's timeline to divide it. Now, you asked a while ago about angels and whether angels ever return to earth in physicality, and I wonder if you remember my answer. Of course, you say that they do all the time. We are all talking here about children who die very young. They are angels. Every soul who comes to the body to serve the agenda of Father is an angel. Every child who has died very young has done so to bring a gift to another. When I was 8 years old, I had a niece, a very beautiful niece of my 18-year-old sister. I think she was 18, yeah. She gave birth, and oh my gosh, she was the love of the family. But my sister was a bit rude to her. I saw that she was a baby, and I don't understand why she treat the girl like that. The poor thing. She was so cute, so very cute, with beautiful blue eyes, and then she would look like an angel. I remember her, and her name was Ludmila. Ludmila. Oh, poor angel. And then I remember I every time I help my sister take care of her, to I mean not take care of her really like um do her formula and all that, but to help bring in the diapers for my sister to change, to take away the soiled diapers so I won't this kind of made. But I remember one time she getting very ill, very ill, and I don't know what happened to her. I really don't. So she was taken to a hospital, and over there, there's no oxygen for all. They didn't give oxygen to the poor baby. She was only 6 months old. And then came the news Ludmila was gone. And boy, I cried. I went there, cried like mad. And then uh, my sister bought a coffin for my mom. Then she bring that small baby coffin, put it down the center of the hall, I remember. And I remember everybody cry, my sister wailing, cry. And I was like, why is she crying when she was so rude towards her baby, and now she crying after her death. And then she was blaming the hospital, she was blaming the nurses, she blamed everybody else, she blamed even God. She said, why you take her away from me, my daughter, my baby? No, no. When the coffin was the funeral, the men all came to take her away. She cried. She didn't allow them to take away the coffin. She was wailing there on the. I saw her wailing the street. God, why you do this to me, my daughter, my baby? And then it was, a misery. And then I still remember she had a beautiful angel with her eye open yet, her pale face looking through the casket, the glass casket, it's like, my God, why? Then I was like, why there is this? Why? Why take away her away from us? Why? Right now when we start to love her. And then 1 year later was the time of my pet and my brother, 21-year-old brother. So I have seen a lot of deaths, a small and big deaths in my family since young. So I don't know whether she was an angel that babe were, but well, she served an agenda, a um, very short period. just to make us happy, at least me. So, and others were naturally deeply grieving. But I promise you that as the time goes by and a healing occurs, the gift will be seen, it will be received, and the work of that little sweetheart, who could only be described as an angel, will have been accomplished. So every child who died very young has done so to bring a gift to another. That gift may not be understood for some time by parents and others who are naturally deeply grieving. Yeah, they are mourning. It's a very painful period. Even I, at the age of 8, I become traumatized by this, by seeing her coughing, by seeing her baby there on the coffee. Then she's staring. But I promise you that as time goes by and a healing occurs, the gift will be seen, it will be received in the work of that little sweetheart who could only be described as an angel who had been accomplished. I think that the baby will be a blessing to that woman, my sister. And that's why she was taken away from her. And later come another who is proven to be not a blessing but a curse in her life. Uglier one. The beautiful one, they took it away because maybe she would be a better child for her. This is a very healing thing to say. That's a very gentle and healing notion. It's not merely a notion, it's the state of things. It is how things are. It is what is so. I'm so grateful to know this and to know everything that you have told me in my conversations with God. This ongoing dialogue with you has changed my life and touched the lives of millions around the world as well. I don't know what to say. I know this is our final conversation. Our final conversations in public. I will always be with you, always, as your loved ones are always with you. But they hope about you now. Some in physical form, some as spirit guides and angels. Yet they are all angels. Even those you have imagined to be opposing you, the devils, the demons, even those you have imagined to be your enemies, all have appeared in your world with a divine reason and with a divine purpose that you might know and choose, express and experience, become and fulfill who you really are. So, yeah, okay, but if I don't want to weigh in a shoes another, how about that? I mean, why people must see you hurt me and I keep it quiet and I get bullied and abused? Why? Just because I have to prove you not the way you want me to be? Prove to you a way that I don't want to be? For what? I shouldn't. I don't want. Know this, therefore, life on this planet is your greatest treasure, created for you as a context within which you might make the next most glorious decision about yourself. And I know also that to assist you in this choice, I have sent you nothing but angels. No, so sometimes devil, but angel. Do evil thing to people are angels? Oh, come on. You have told me this before. I could not hear you. My life was such a mess. I had to find someone to blame. The world was so near to destruction. I had to find someone to make it wrong. And you are right. You're right. Why must be complacent for? Na see the world and people going to hell. So much apathy here, no empathy to other people's sufferings. The biggest one try to take change on the smaller one, take advantage of them, suck the little money they have for food, um, and get them pounded if it fake story that's not true. Tell them that they are physically very ill when they are not, so as to suck the money from them. Money they don't have. Yet have I not said, judge not and neither condemn? Therefore, be a light unto the darkness, see, and cause it not. For all that has come to pass has come to bring passage for you into the world and the experience of your most wondrous imagining. You see, both the light and the dark's the same. So that's why they defend one another. But when, if we react, we are wrong, then we are judged. But we cannot judge the wrong one. You know what I mean? That's how life is, how these beings make life to be. When you are wrong, Eddie, oh, just put up with this. Oh, you are acting to be a victim. Oh, you are act to suffer. Oh, you are acting to having pain. But when you return into a devil and want to hurt the adversary, oh, you cannot do this. You are wrong. So you start to judge eyes. You must find yourself. Why should we bend down to them for? If they can be bad, why can't we be bad as well? That is stupid. If you don't teach them a lesson, they will never learn. They will never stop hurting others. This being a wrong. Use the events of today to create the promise of tomorrow, and I use experience of it now to produce the wonder of forever. With this, let our public conversation end. You said early in our dialogue that you have not yet accomplished what you set out to accomplish. Now you have, almost. You only have to remember now how to love completely, not just a little bit, selflessly, not only when it is in your own best interest. That is enough for you to focus on now so you can allow this public conversation to end. For you have brought to its conclusions with this final information about the cosmology of all of life and all of life after death. A dialogue that is meant for all of humanity. And that's enough. You have given this process 10 years of your life. And that's enough. You have changed the world's mind about God and about life. And that's enough. Yes, but not all of the world, not the whole world. The whole world has changed. I promise you. Yeah, really. Not even the pandemic had once able to change people. Imagine these books like this one. The new revelations and tomorrow's God have been embraced by people everywhere. And because of your work and the work of many others like you, the teachers, the authors, the speakers and singers of songs, the healers and ministers, the tellers of stories and murals that move, the mummies and the daddies who cuddle their young in the embrace of real and abiding love, the workers in the vineyard and all the messages who had been deeply committed to change the way life is lived upon the earth. The world entire has begun its remarkable transformation. In time, the transformation will be complete. In time, no time, it has already been accomplished. For this has been your will and mine, and in this world of our creation, our will is done. I was surprised. A surprising moment will be the moment that you first enter the spiritual realm and discover that you may create with the speed of your thought anything at all, and that you may come to know what you have created sequentially or simultaneously as you choose. Oh yes, what a surprise this will be! And yet, the biggest surprise and the biggest wonder will still be to come. Only after you choose to recreate yourself anew, only after you decide with the souls of all your loved ones around you how you next wish to experience the wonder and the glory of who you are. Reincarnation. They bring a couple of their loved ones, and then they join together, and then go to assembly, and then start to try to brainwash the eyes and tries to make the eyes sign up to contract to getting back in a journey of reincarnation or incarnation, whatever. And it's like that. And then until they're okay, but sometimes they give us terrible script to follow, terrible script, all about tragedy, misery, suffering, pain, etc., bad luck in life. You know, that's the most ridiculous, stupid thing that people are obliged and forced to accept, or else you will suffer also on the other side. If you say no, they will still punish you. You are only the moment of the choice with the totality of your awareness be open to be open to the AT&T remembrance. Free choice is the act of pure creation, the signature of God in your gift, your glory and your power forever and ever. You may exercise this power both in the spiritual realm and in the physical world, with your thoughts, with your words, and with your deeds. Will you do so? You are doing so now, even in this present moment. Therefore, in this glorious time of now, always, recreate yourself anew. You ever held, recreate yourself anew in the next grandest version of the greatest vision you ever held about who you are. And I know this finally. Whatever you choose and wherever you are, you always have the ability to instantly be home with God. So be it. It doesn't mean you don't need to die to be home with God. Even here you are able to be. So okay, that's the end for this book. Of course, I'm reading from like always the last part. Before you see the begin, you already know the end, how things begin, how things end with me. So